Did you experience childhood trauma in your family? Do you wonder why you've been stuck in disempowering patterns for all your life? Are you open to learning about a healing modality that addresses those lifelong stuck patterns that originated in childhood? Are you ready for a change? If so, then today's show is for you. Our guest will be sharing her journey into the world of energy healing and family constellations. She'll also discuss how her work can help you move forward in your life. She'll be doing a group process, taking your questions, and doing mini readings to get you back on track. So, as you know, as I like to say, get your pen and pad ready. You're going to want to take some notes. Buckle up. We're getting ready to take a ride in the quantum field. And with today's guest, possibly way beyond. Buckle up. I wouldn't want you to go flying off to another dimension. Or just maybe, that's exactly what you need. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. I'm so honored and grateful to have today's guest, Kat Gelinas. Kat, how are you today? Oh, I gotta unmute you.
Hi, I unmuted myself.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, you know, one of the cool things about doing this show is, you know, I know a number of people, and also, you know, I ask for recommendations from the viewers, people I know. Do you have any recommendations of people that'd be a great fit for the show? And one of our regular viewers recommended Kat. So that's how I got to know Kat. I had learned about family constellations. I listened to a lot of online telesummits, and I learned something. So I know some basics, but I'm really excited because she's going to share with you a lot about family constellations and much more. So, you know, if you're seeing this live right now on Zoom, after the show, please sure to share it with your friends, family, people that are interested in this type of work. If you're seeing it on the replay page, the replay on my page for People and Pets Energetics, my Facebook page, please give it a love, like, thumbs up. Please like my page and follow it. If you're seeing it on the YouTube channel for the People and Pets Show, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it out. The way we spread the word about this type of great work is individual sharing. So it's often a person-to-person, house-to-house share. So please do so. I greatly appreciate it. And let me thank all those that are live on the call right now. You know, with so much going on in the world, there are so many things you could be doing with your time right now. And I'm so honored and grateful that you've chosen to spend some of it with us. You're going to get a lot of value out of the show. And so we have some new people. We have Heather joining us today. Welcome, Heather. We also have Mary. Thank you, Mary, a new to the show. Thank you. So again, thank you all for being here. So I'd like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Mark Hernandez. I'm the owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics and the host of today's show. I'm a holistic practitioner that does private consultations for people, animals, and situations when they've hit the wall with health and well-being issues. Basically, I have intuitive gifts and extensive training to read subtle energy fields and then identify and release non-beneficial energies that are locking in place people's stuff. So what commonly gets people in the door to give me a call? Typically, it's an individual that's already in the holistic space. So they're doing yoga, organic food eating, acupuncture, chiro, naturopathic doctor, things along those lines. So they're already in the holistic world. Whatever they usually do to help themselves isn't working with the specific situation, or perhaps it's provided a partial solution or no solution. And also, these individuals are in a significant amount of pain on some level, something they cannot, ignore anymore. That gets them to pick up the phone and call me. For your pets, I help pets in two main areas. Area one, changes in behavior. You have a dog or cat, it's fine. One day, it just starts peeing and pooing all over the household. I work with separation anxiety, excessive barking, and much more. Category two, people have taken their pet to the vet. The vet discovers something veterinarily going on. I can provide a layer of energetic support. Perhaps the vet's discovered a blockage, liver growth, stuff along those lines. My work is something you do in addition to the excellent veterinary care you provide your animals. The last area is situations. Probably the most common situation I work with are spaces, wonky spaces. We've all probably been in buildings, houses, where we walk in and we know we just want to walk out, okay? I can see energetically what's going on, why it's wonky, clear it. All my work is non-invasive, safe, gentle, and yields results. At times, immediately, and in other instances, over time. I do 100% of my consultations remotely by phone or video technology. The last piece I'd like to add is I do multidimensional healings. By that, I mean, if it's a person, I will check their current timeline. But as many of us know, for many of us, this isn't the first rodeo for our soul in the universe, okay? Most of us have had other life experiences here or elsewhere. I'll check those other timelines because what I'm finding is as people are expanding, they're feeling the energies from other timelines that are impacting their now. We can do a quick cleanup and get them back on the road. So that's who I am and what I do in a nutshell. Now let's turn to our guest today. I'm going to formally introduce Kat Gelinas. Okay, Kat has trained in family and systemic constellations, consciousness development, shadow work, energy, somatic healing work, and much more. Over the years, she's been gathering and synthesizing all her learnings into a beautiful cocktail of transformation for supporting others in realizing their true self, embodying their greatness, healing past wounds, and creating a life they love. Her delight is to hold a welcoming, safe space for people to explore and extract their richness of their experiences in a way that they feel held, nourished, and expanded. Facilitating discovery, truth, and relief in such a way that awakens aliveness and expansion. You can find more about Kat and her work at katgelinas.com, and I'll put that in the comments. So our topic for our conversation today is reconfiguring family constellations. So Kat, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thanks.
Yeah. So, I gave that kind of brief intro. Obviously you've had a lot of experiences with different healing modalities. I'm kind of curious because probably for a lot of people you're new, at least to this show. How did you get involved in healing work, family constellations, and all that? How did it get started?
Healing work itself probably started in 2002. It started with Landmark Education. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but that was like the mothership for me. And I was 24 years old, not sure what to do with career. And my friend's mother came back from one of the seminars, and that was like the beginning of it all. But as for energetic constellation work, it happened when my husband and I separated back in 2014. And we couldn't figure it out after doing so much development work, healing work, coaching, couldn't figure out what was going on. And that's when my friend recommended family constellations.
Okay, great. So can you give a very brief, like family constellations 101? What is it? What are some of the underlying premises? How does it work at a basic level? I know it's involved?
Yeah. We tap into the energy of the family system. Like every family has an energetic field, and there's very specific principles and foundations that have been discovered by Bert Hellinger, the man who developed it back in, I think, 30 something years ago.
Okay.
So we use those, and we have people describe something that's happening in their lives. And based on these principles, there's very, very clear ways to check to see like where the imbalance of the energy field is. So we go and we harmonize it with, on a soul level, with the eyes of love, and by acknowledging and welcoming everything that is. I would say
Okay.
that's the gist.
Okay. The gist. Okay. Great. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Great. Then just give me one second. Sorry. Um, what are the most common reasons people seek help? How do they know that maybe, because I know you do, like you said, a cocktail of different energy modalities and things. So,
Mm-hmm.
but what are the most common reasons people are coming to see you in the last 6 months?
Love. Love is a big one.
Okay.
Not understanding like why relationships aren't working out or why they aren't coming in. Um, Money is another big one that they
Yep.
come, but of course, there's a lot involved with it, but that's like the topic that they bring. And then sometimes just like various things about their internal experience, like feeling that they're not good enough, or social anxiety, or just anything that causes them stress.
Okay. But the top two would be love and money. And so, as a rule
Yeah.
of thumb, it varies less for like health issues if they had digestive issues for 30 years per se. They usually, it won't come from family constellations for that. It's primarily,
No, sometimes they do. Sometimes
okay.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Um, okay. Would you like to lead us through a brief group process with family constellations? We have about 6 people on the call.
Yeah, I could do that. I would need a volunteer as to who wanted to not only have a process done in front of everyone, but also divulge some information about their families.
Okay, if you can, I think you have the option to raise your hand, or you can manually raise your hand the old school way just by showing me on the screen. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll volunteer.
Who's this, Kim?
This is Kim.
Okay, Kim from Wisconsin. Thank you. Go ahead, Kim.
Hi. I guess harmony in our family with my husband's stepsister. She overdosed on some drugs and she died. She had a 9-month-old son. And out of not really knowing what to do or how to help, because they're very limited with the family and stuff, my husband and I decided to adopt our nephew as our own. And we also had a 7-year-old already when we adopted, and there's lots of discord.
Mm.
After this has happened, and he's been with us now. He was 9 months when we adopted him, and he's just turned 8 now. But I just feel that as the years went by, we think of him more as our son, and I think, like you said, I think more love needs to be instilled here.
Mm. Okay, so you adopted your nephew, and there's discord between the two children. Is that what you're?
Between the two children, and I'm having a hard time just loving, I guess. I don't see him quite like I should, I guess, as my own.
Okay.
And yeah, between him and the other one, and my husband once in a while, and yeah.
Okay. So what we can do right away is set up a constellation to see what's going on in the field. What you'll be, I'm going to do it blind because it works better if initially nobody knows who they are. And fortunately, my two friends are here that have done constellations with me before. So what you're going to be seeing is what's happening on a very, like a subconscious level within the field. And you don't really need to know who you are in order to see the energies at play. I will reveal who everybody is, but probably after like a few minutes. And initially what we do, just to give a little context, is we will set up the representatives, someone to represent your son, to represent you, and we have only 3 people here, so we'll probably also put in your husband. And then if we need to switch out representation and look at different aspects or elements, we will do that as well. Does that sound okay? Do you have any questions?
No, I just want to listen and learn. I guess I've never heard of this before.
Okay. Mary, are you available to also represent? I know your video's off. I think you can still represent with your video off.
I can do that.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So, so Kim, what you're going to do is just first choose a first representation, and without knowing who is being represented. So Heather, Jill, or Mary.
Mary.
Okay. And then the second person?
Heather.
Heather. And then that leaves Jill. So Mary, have you ever done a constellation?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so what you're going to do, it's actually pretty simple. Even people who have never done it before do great. What you're going to do is I've already assigned each one of you a representation, an element in Kim's family field to see what's going on. Nobody knows who they are. You just kind of tune into what you're feeling, sensing, and noticing, especially when you look at either Jill or Heather. And it's pretty palpable, like things will start arising. And there might be that kind of questioning, like, is this me feeling this, or is this the representation feeling this? My advice is to just go with it. Just kind of report on what you're feeling and what you're noticing. So the key here is there's the ego level and then there's the soul level. The ego level of the representation might want to debate or be right or whatnot. So what we're going to do is if they have that feeling, we just report, like, my representation seems to want to argue or be right. We don't actually go into this dialogue where we, chitter chatter at each other. I'm going to be pausing you guys occasionally. I'm going to be asking that you raise your hand, or in your case, Mary, just say my name when you want to share something, for the sake of having a flow and not interrupting each other. And then occasionally I will be asking the 3 of you to do things to restore harmony. So just to give you a little context of what's ahead. Okay, so Jill, Heather, Mary, if you could unmute. And Jill, what are you noticing?
Immediately I noticed that the person I'm representing is tired, frustrated, exhausted, and angry.
Okay, tired, frustrated, exhausted. How do you feel towards Mary?
Sorry, I want to just change my view so that I can
Sure.
look at Mary bigger. Mary, can you just say something so I can just see your picture?
Hi, Jill.
I don't know. It's blank right now. Maybe
Blank.
maybe that is the feeling.
Gotcha. How do you feel towards Heather?
Heather, can you just say hi?
Hi.
I feel okay about Heather.
Okay. All right.
I actually feel like a little warm towards Heather.
Warm towards Heather. Okay. Heather, what are you noticing?
When I first looked at Jill, I felt something activating in my solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I just tuned in some more, I felt like a separation. It's like the person I'm representing is saying, not my monkey, not my circus. Feels like that.
Mm. Okay. A separation from, I guess, like drama. Does that feel like that? Or conflict? Like, what do you mean by monkeys and circus when you say it?
I don't feel like I'm in this
Okay.
structure, whatever this is.
Okay. I see.
I feel separated. No, I'm in it, but I feel separated from it.
Hmm. Then how do you feel towards Mary?
I'm not getting anything about Mary.
Okay. I'm gonna, since we have only a few people, I'm also gonna bring in this little figurine. We can do it with live people or with figurines. What I'm doing right now is just checking out the dynamics of what's going on. I'm gonna reveal who everyone is right after I check. How do Heather and Jill, how do you feel towards this figurine? And then I'll check in with Mary right after.
To me, the figurine seems like loud, like I saw its mouth opening.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like it wants something from me, but maybe I'm not sure if I want to give it.
Okay. And what about you, Heather?
First, I felt love calling me, but I'm not sure that I'm not sure about it. And then there's a definite reaction going on inside of me now. I feel like, ooh, I feel like on the spot, like everybody's looking at me and expecting something from me too.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I can give it.
Okay. All right, Mary, how are you doing? What are you noticing?
Whole lot of sadness, feelings of withdrawal, feelings of, there's like a tenseness in my jaw, depressing, kind of headachy, don't want to be here talking to y'all, feeling feeling kind of detached. Yeah, detaching.
Okay. And how do you feel? Okay, so I just want to give you the representations. I feel like it's time now. So Jill is your husband, Kim. Heather is you. They said Jill, as your husband said, he felt warmth towards you, but felt nothing towards Mary. Mary's your stepson. And Mary, who was just talking, just said sad, depressed, detached, withdrawn. And Heather, who's representing you, said that she didn't feel anything towards your stepson as well, and also felt this thing towards your husband, like, not my monkeys, not my circus. This is your biological child. I put it in as a representation to see how Mary would feel towards it. So Mary, how do you feel towards this child, your sibling?
I don't feel like it's my sibling. I feel like it's just this other thing. Is like, it's perfect that it's an object you're holding up, because that's how it really feels to me.
How do you feel towards either Heather or Jill?
I don't know what to expect from them. I don't know what they expect from me. I think I have some fear. I'm not I'm not fully connecting with either of them.
Do you know what the fear is about?
I feel sort of there's I don't feel like I'm part of whatever it is they're doing.
Okay. Jill or Heather, when she said that, does that feel true for you?
I was going back to just that, like, when she was saying that she doesn't feel connected with her husband, and I'm the husband. Like, yeah, like I feel like sort of alone, and like that's I think why I was feeling blank, right? Just sort of like just trying to get through this. You know, it's kind of like, okay, so it's not a family with all of us together. We're all like individuals operating on our own and not together as a unit. And I don't know how to get us there. That's what's so frustrating. Like,
Okay.
why can't we just like feel like there's a barricade? Why can't we just like feel and be together? We're operating singly.
Okay. So I'm going to try some. These are called truth statements in constellations. On a soul level, all of these statements are absolutely true. So when I check in, and if they don't feel true, I know where to harmonize things. So, and once we harmonize things, then they become true for every being. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So Jill, when you look at Heather and think about saying like, I see you, does that feel true?
I still feel blank.
What if you said it's hard for me to see you?
It's hard for me to see you.
Okay. And just kind of tune into how that felt saying it.
It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to see you. You know, it's like, I don't want that to be true. I want it to be easier, but it is true. It's hard for me to see you. And it feels better for me to say it. I feel like if I repeat it, it's gonna not make it so.
Yeah. So again, I'm normally I don't do this throughout the whole constellation, but I'm doing it because we're on the show. But yeah, saying a truth, even if it's difficult or painful, it releases the energy rather than leaving it in the unspoken. So that's why, yeah, Jill, it's starting to feel better for you.
I feel
Yeah, if you need to, just go right ahead.
yeah, I feel I'm very sorry that it's been this way.
Heather, how is it for you to hear as Kim?
I feel very confused and torn and feeling like everybody wants something from me.
Okay.
I'm feeling like an outpouring of love. I can see how on your face how difficult this is, and my heart is really opening, and I really want you to know that I'm here for you.
Wow. That just released so much tension in me. I can breathe again.
So if you guys are here in person, and maybe if you're just witnessing, like we're feeling the energy of the field just moving. I see you nodding, Mark, so I'm guessing you're feeling it. Yeah, nice. Just simple. I'm only doing a very simple, basic constellation, but the simple principles are profound. You say the truth and you welcome everyone and everything in the field. So, and another principle, one second, is just to, it starts at the top. It starts with the grandparents and the parents. It's never really about the younger generations, like it is, but their influence, it's from the top down. That's why I'm focusing in on Jill and Heather. Okay, back in. So Jill, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I want to get on my knees and like Heather, hold your hands and continue weeping and tell you how much I love you.
Okay.
And I appreciate you. I know this is hard.
So Jill, I want you to just try to say some truth statements, but again, only if it's true for you. So just, you are my wife and I am your husband.
You are my wife and I am your husband.
And I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. And I'm proud to be your husband. And I'm proud to be here for you. I'm really here for you.
That just released a little more. You could feel it. Heather, how are you doing? And we're going to check in with Mary right after.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot more relieved, a little really surprised, actually. It's like, oh, I'm not really used to this feeling yet. And it gave me a lot of relief, yeah.
Okay. So Heather.
Not sure how to respond going forward, honestly.
That's okay. That's your response. When you think about saying to Jill, I see you, how does that feel?
I feel gripping in my belly when I say that. But like, let me just say it. I see you.
Does that feel true?
Not fully, no.
Okay, then just say the truth, which is, it's hard for me to see you.
It's hard for me to see you.
I felt like it released something.
It's hard for me to say, it's hard for me to see you, but I'm saying it anyway. It's hard for me to see you. And I'm feeling that the truth of that's coming into me. Yeah, it feels true. It's hard for me to see you.
It's actually released something for me. Like my stomach started feeling tight before, like after I said those statements. Now after the statement, I'm feeling my stomach releasing more. And I think it would just be like sort of the honesty of us finally coming together to say what's there for us. Because this has been so hard.
I'm feeling grateful hearing that.
Okay, great. All right, so we got some truth out. We saw each other. How do you two feel towards Mary now, which is stepson?
I'm starting to feel brighter. I see Mary as like brighter and sweeter and cuter.
What about you, Heather?
I see like innocence and I feel compassion.
Okay. Mary, what have you been noticing this whole time?
Well, I've noticed some relief from my jaw and head. Definitely stuff moved. I've been also feeling, witnessing them going through this felt very numb, but definitely there's some relief. And, I still don't know my role. And I also feel like there's a lot expected of me to make them happy, and I don't know how to do that.
Okay. We're going to start off by, again, just acknowledging and seeing him. It's very powerful. So let's start with you, Jill, since you're the husband of the house. In constellations, like the masculine goes first and the feminine. The feminine follows the masculine, but the masculine serves the feminine. So it balances out, just to clarify. So Jill, when you think about saying to Mary, I see you, how does that feel? Does that feel true?
Yeah, I wanted to say when Mary was speaking that I wanted to hug her. So yes, I see you, I can feel you, I want to hold you, I want you to come into my arms.
Okay, so I'm going to have you say a few truth statements in this family field. I am your father and you are my son. But again, only if it feels true.
Yeah. I am your father and you are my son.
And you don't need to carry any burdens for me anymore.
And you don't need to carry any burdens for me anymore.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or to earn love.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or earn love.
How does that feel to hear, Mary?
I'm a little reticent to believe all of it, but when he said that he wanted to hold me, I wanted him to hold me.
Okay.
Yeah, what I noticed for me is I felt guilt for not being able to like express or feel this sooner. I'm relieved it's here now, but I definitely feel guilty.
Okay. Jill, try saying to Mary just one more statement of, you can take your time. I'll be here.
You can take your time and I'll be here with open arms.
Felt something move there. How was that for you, Mary?
That was good. Yeah, that I think that the connection is feeling a lot stronger.
Nice. Okay, we're going to move over to Heather. Heather, if you say I see you to Mary, does that feel true?
Yes.
Okay, can you do that?
Yes. I see you.
I am your mother.
I am your mother. I see you. I feel you. I love you.
All right, I'm going to have you repeat a few traditional statements. These help to release and reseal bonds and harmonize. So, I am your mother and you are my son.
I am your mother and you are my son.
Did that feel true for you?
Oh, right through my core, yes.
Nice. Just to reiterate, like, don't say anything that doesn't feel true. And you don't have to carry my burdens for me anymore.
And you don't have to carry my burdens for me anymore.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or to earn love.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or to earn love.
You've always had both.
I'm hesitating on that.
What about present time? You have both now.
You have both now. Yes, that feels more true.
Okay, nice. Thanks for clarifying that. All right, Mary, how did that impact you?
Hi.
Sorry, do you mind muting while we're finishing out some of this? Thank you. Wait, could you mute again, Mark?
So yeah, I'm not fully connecting with Heather. There's something about less about me and her just wanting to protect her family that I'm feeling. Almost like, she wants to embrace me to protect her family, but it isn't really me. There's a sense of, there's a lack of trust there.
So try just saying that to Heather, like, it's hard for me to trust you.
It's hard for me to trust you.
How is that, Mary? Does that feel
Yeah,
true?
it helped to voice it.
Nice. Heather, how did that impact you?
It felt true.
Okay.
I felt that what she was saying was true.
Okay. You can just say a truth then. Let's see if this is true. Like, I'm going to learn to love you as my own.
Could I change that a little bit?
Yep, we're just testing things out.
Yeah. I really want to learn to love you as my own. There's something about wanting, I don't know why, but there's something about wanting the child to teach me how to love.
Okay.
It's almost like, okay, this feels like a love I haven't felt before fully.
Okay.
It's more like, okay, I feel, oh, no, I'm getting too heady about that. Never mind.
Let's try a few statements. And again, you tweak it if it's not correct. Just say something like, I know it's been hard and it wasn't personal. It's not personal.
Yeah. I know it's been hard and it's not personal.
And I want to work on this.
And I want to work on this.
But I do see you now.
But I do see you now.
So that all felt true?
Yes.
Okay, Mary, how was that?
So I'm feeling like it's easier for me to accept, is it Jill? Because I don't feel a draw to my biological father, but there's still something there about my biological mother that is between me and Heather.
Does it feel like a sense of loyalty or something?
Kind of, like I miss her and I keep wondering if she's coming back.
Okay.
Where did she go?
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense. Children, so again, in constellation, children are unconditionally loyal to their parents, no matter what happens. On a conscious level, it might not look like that, but on an unconscious level, children will follow their parents into death. Mark, how much more time do I have to do the rest of this? Just keep going? You're muted, by the way. You're muted.
Go ahead. I think people are getting a lot of great value, like this is a great deep dive. I know on a smaller scale, because I know a full session goes a lot longer, but this is great. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to take another figurine out to represent Kim. And because as Mary said, it really wasn't about him not being able to embrace Kim necessarily, but a loyalty to mother. So this is now, this little green guy is going to be Kim as a placeholder. And this is still son, your biological son, but I'm going to put him on the table so I don't have to hold him. So Jill, can you become the biological mother? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave Heather. I'm going to leave you as Kim so that I don't have to hold. Okay.
I feel a lot of swirling energy. I don't know, I'm seeing, it's kind of like one of those big lollipops where I'm just seeing all this swirling energy. It's like I'm not settled.
Can you see your son?
Yeah, like, so there's like, it's like I want to say love and guilt. Like I see him bright and shiny, but I don't know, there's just something undone.
What do you mean by undone?
I think it's something about like having not fulfilled my responsibility as a mother.
Ah, okay. I'm going to have you say some statements again, and we're going to see what happens. But first, I want to check in with you, Mary. How is it to see your mother here?
I'm a little surprised. um, and now I feel like I've been wanting her, and now I feel like I don't know who she is.
Okay. Try saying to her, I've needed you. Again, only if it feels true.
I've needed you.
Okay, Jill, how was that impact?
So it's making more sense now because it's like my heart is hardened. I actually feel a sensation in my heart. Probably to accept, or, you know, I've had to harden my heart to, yeah, like accept what I've done, which I feel guilt, shame, you know, my poor child.
Okay. I'm going to have you say your statements now, and we'll see what that does. So I see you.
I see you.
I know it's been hard.
I know it's been hard.
None of it was personal.
None of it was personal.
And I'm here.
And I'm here. You know, it's just hard because it's just so, I mean, all of it was able to come out easily. And I want it to be true. It's just, it's so messed up with my own actions.
Say more about what you mean by that. I'm going to get more figurines to help you out.
With the actions, my actions created this situation, and my, you know, bright, shiny sun, I see his pain.
Okay. What about when you think about releasing him from your burdens? Does that feel like you could do that?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay, great. So I'm going to bring in 2 little figurines. These are going to be your karma-free ancestors to support you as mom. So just imagine them standing behind you and try this out, saying, I give you my blessing to let go of any of the burdens that you've carried for me.
I give you my blessing to let go of any of the burdens you have carried for me.
They were never yours.
They were never yours.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or to earn love. You've always had both.
You've never needed to do anything to earn your place or earn love. You've always had both.
And that feels true, Jill?
It does feel true, and it's lightening my heart a lot.
Nice.
I don't
So
know what it's doing for him, but I do feel like this is the right stuff, and I'm feeling pangs in my heart still.
okay. So yeah, it's a releasing of the burdens because children are so unconditionally loving. If we don't have the parent verbally release them when they're ready, they just won't. So Mary, how was that for you?
That felt really powerful and believable, and it eased a lot of my own anxiety.
Nice. Okay. And Jill, do you feel like you're going to stay here now and hold your place?
I'm not sure quite what you mean by stay here and hold your place.
So everyone in constellations in the family, they all have a place, and everyone has to be welcomed and included. It's kind of like the law of families. So when I say, like, will you be able to stay in the place of his mother forever? How does that feel to you?
I feel like I'm not deserving of it. I do want to say, I had seen those swirls like a lollipop, and now the energy is more like one color. Like I feel a lot more solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is, definitely gotten me to the next place. I almost want to say I feel like I've relinquished my rights to be his mother.
That actually could be something. How do you feel towards Heather? Like, would you be able to ask Heather to care for your son as his mother?
I'm very grateful for her. Very, very grateful.
Great. So you can try saying this, and again, let me know. I will stay in my place, but I request and honor Heather as your mother in this life.
I will stay in my place, and I request and honor Heather's place as mother in your life.
Does that feels totally true?
Yes, like it really needed to be said.
Nice. And Heather, how was that for you?
I felt relief even before she said it, almost, which is weird.
Nice.
But I felt the anticipation of it coming, and I felt a lot of relief. And I feel freer now. I don't have these things pulling on me.
Nice. Again, background is everyone needs to be acknowledged and welcomed. And Jill, as biological mother, needed to be seen and heard. And Mary, how are you?
I'm doing much better. I'm much calmer. I'm feeling more a part of something that is bigger than myself. I feel less lonely, more secure.
Nice. How do you feel towards Heather?
Like I want her to hold me. Like I want to be hers.
Nice. Okay. Kim, I'm going to have you take Heather's place and then tune into your own self, your own role, so you can feel this new family harmony. So Heather, I'm going to change you into husband so that no one's left out. Kim, are you ready to do that?
I can try.
Yeah, so it's very simple. You're just going to embody yourself and then start noticing how you feel towards your husband, Heather, biological mother, Jill, and then your son, Mary. And all you need to do is just feel it. If you want to say something, if you feel something arise, you can also say that.
So Jill is not my biological mother, but Lucas's, right?
Right, Lucas's mother.
And Mary is
Your
my
son.
husband?
Mary's
Oh,
your
my
son, and Heather's your husband.
It's hard to keep them straight.
I know. Sorry. If we had a chat, I would write it down in the chat.
I'd like to, I'll make a note of who else you can kind of remind me.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. What did you say?
I'll grab a pencil too. That might help you. You know who to.
I think you said you're going to grab a pencil?
Yeah, so I can
Okay.
tell who's who.
Okay. Maybe I could put it in the chat as
Yeah.
well. Yeah? Okay. I'm going to write it in the chat too.
Thank you. Sorry.
You guys, I just want you to know I was supposed to do something at 11 and I pushed it off. So I'm just going to text somebody. Just
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
You said Jill is who?
biological mother of Lucas.
Okay.
As I put it in the chat. Can you see the chat?
I'm on my iPhone, so I
Oh,
don't see it.
okay. All right.
And Mary was
Lucas.
Lucas.
And
Okay.
Heather's your husband.
Okay.
And you're you. So you just kind of tune in.
There's a lot more lightness. I feel like weight lifted, especially in my head. My hurt.
Nice. Yeah, this the energy of his biological mother needed to be acknowledged. The relationship with you and your husband, some truths just needed to be said, and then everything with the child. The children tend to be more innocent in the picture, and that's always the case. Same with you being the child of your mother and your grandparents. Like the energy flow trickles down. But I'm great. It's great to hear that you're feeling lighter in your heart and in the field. So if you're okay, then we're gonna close the constellation. So thank you, and thank you for sharing about your life.
It's a hard one. It's been tough. It's like I'm trying so hard with so many different things to get things right, and just seems like it's always the same.
Yeah. Yeah, that resonates. A lot of time, like there's unseen dynamics in the field that there's no way to know. So it's like we're trying to do our best, and then until we do constellations, we can't see like what's actually at play sometimes. So yeah, I hear you.
So is there interference sometimes on his mom's part, or not? Is that possible?
I wouldn't say it's interference. It's more just she needed to be seen and acknowledged, and her truth needed to be heard. That's always what it is in the field. Everyone in the field, even when someone is looking like they're quote unquote interfering, it's not really what's happening. There's just something out of harmony, a truth not being said or someone not being welcomed, and then it expresses in various ways, which might look like that, and it might look like conflict. But once we harmonize the love and welcome everyone, all that just sorts itself out. So as soon as she was seen and they got to connect, everything smoothed out. And that's generally how it goes in all the time.
Does Lucas have a sense of a lightness in him? Does he kind of know inside?
Well, sometimes, like what I've noticed things happening, like we'll do a constellation and all of a sudden a long lost family member will call out of the blue, or new things will occur. So it does affect the whole family for sure. Whether they're consciously aware of it, I don't know. But all of a sudden it's very common for like surprising things to start happening, like tensions easing, people calling, getting back in contact, new actions happening that are very beneficial. So it does, yes, it affects everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Yeah, Kat and Kim and everyone that participated, thank you for this really in-depth, extended demo of what family constellation is and how it works and the possibilities. As we saw during this process, people experience change, people feel things, express truths, and like you said, we clear the field and just let the changes show up. New calls, people getting back in touch when they hadn't been in for years. So that's very cool. So thank you very much, Kat. Yeah. And I know other people that participated want to share. I know some of you have worked directly with Kat, so if anyone wants to mute herself. Yeah, go ahead, Jill.
Yeah, so I wanted to mention a couple things, and maybe Mary hasn't done this before, so maybe she can attest to it. what's incredible is that you don't need to be intuitive or psychic, that you are assigned a person and you just start feeling feelings. And to me, I'll never get over the amazement of that. Whether it's on Zoom or in person, you feel things. And that part is a complete, beautiful mystery to me. And then personally, I've worked with Kat on many constellations. I've received my own and also participated. And one of the ones that always comes back to me is understanding my family dynamics from my grandparents' point of view. And that's what's so interesting, because as children or grandchildren, I knew my grandparents up to age like 20 before they passed away. And that when you can actually get into how they feel about things and why this brings it down into your lineage. I mean, when I think of family constellations, I constantly think of my grandmother and grandfather and their dynamic that I didn't know or understand, and how it created these other things in our that affected grandchildren that you would never know. And so to me, that stuff is just invaluable, to see people. So I know what goes on in my brain, and then to have other people, acknowledge it is like, okay, this is acknowledging, but to understand, and maybe it's good to experience it that way, where you have it, where you trust it because you've experienced it for yourself, then to go back into my grandparents' brains and understand what motivates them has just been tremendous for me. Helps me understand a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jill. Anyone else like to share their experience working with Kat and the family constellations?
Well, I have not worked with Kat in family constellations, but I've worked with her in another modality, and
Sure.
I very much enjoy her work, and like working with her. I've learned a lot from her.
Great.
Thanks,
All
Mary.
right.
Thank you, Jill.
I just want to say that Kat has had a huge impact on my life. I learned so much from her every time we get together, and I have experienced the constellations too, and it's astounding to me how it works. Like Jill said, the mystery of it. It's beautiful. And it really brings home to me the universality and the oneness of all of us.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just love her. Like, she has such grace when she's doing this. I really feel that.
Thanks, Heather.
And I think that the process itself contains a lot of grace.
Yes.
It seems really magical to me, this process.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about it, and I've never experienced it. And that was really wonderful.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. So as we're getting ready to wrap up today's episode, so Kat, will you please share out what's the best way to reach you if people want to book a session, learn more? What's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, my website, katgelinas.com. I'm also teaching a six-week course in the foundations of constellations, where we'll be learning the principles and doing a lot of personal work on my other business. I co-founded the Yugen Institute with my partner, Shelby Robbins. So there we have our courses that we teach. So on yugeninstitute.com, we have our constellation course if you're interested in learning about it.
Yeah. Well, great. All right. Any final thoughts as we get ready to wrap up today's show?
No, just like, I love this work. It's like, it's my jam.
Yeah.
The things it does for people.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, again, thank you, Kat, for being my guest on the People and Pet Show for today. And thank you, everyone, for participating. This was a very interactive session. I think it's great. Gave people a real deep taste of family constellation work and how it can support you in your health and well-being. So thank you. So as you know, the People and Pet Show goes live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Each week, interview a leading figure in holistic health. for people, animals, and spaces. Stay tuned. I'll be announcing what will be happening on next week's show. And again, if you'd like to learn more about my work, I do have an upcoming event myself. It's called Remote Ash Work for People. It'll take place remotely on Wednesday, June 1st in 8 days. There's still some early bird pricing, so if that's of interest, please check it out at my website at peopleandpetsenergetics.com. And also there, if you get called and I can be of support, please book a private session. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being on the call. Have a great day and we'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.